Hi, I'm Michael Majeski, and I'm going to be doing my oral report on Microsoft Incorporated and the external factors that have affected the company over the last few years. No doubt there have been many different factors we could talk about, but the three that I'm going to really be focusing on, in my opinion, are the most important. The first being this nation's recession. It is taking a toll on millions of Americans, which we'll be discussing a little later, but in my opinion, the biggest factor that has affected Microsoft. And second, we're going to talk about excessive competition from large competitors such as Google and Apple, the two main that we're going to be focusing on. And then the third thing we're going to be talking about is lawsuits involving the company and how they have taken a negative toll on the company too. So first, let's talk about a recession. What is a recession? According to Princeton.edu, it states that it is when the state of the economy declines, a widespread decline in the GDP, employment, and trade. Here's an interesting fact for you. According to money.cnn.com, there have been 7.9 million jobs lost during this recession. So, like I said before, it is not just a one company thing or anything like that. This recession has affected millions of Americans. 7.9 million have lost their jobs, and so definitely something we need to take a look at. According to Eric Lai of Computer World, in May of 2009, Microsoft had to cut 3,000 jobs, which at first glance you might think 3,000 jobs is not that much to a huge company like Microsoft, but it definitely is. It's actually 5% of their full-time workforce, and any company that loses 5% of your workforce, it's a pretty nice size cut. And they actually expected to have to raise that number to 5,000 jobs lost, but thankfully they haven't had to do that yet. They're still reviewing whether or not they might need to in the near future, though. Here's another fact for you. According to Network World, in 2009, Microsoft had a large decrease in revenue due to a lack of global PC sales. Again, the recession that affected America not just affected America, it has affected other countries and all around the world. And Microsoft's global market is one of the biggest out there. And because of this, they've really suffered from the lack of global PC sales. And actually, they had, they had a sales forecast that was expected to be 14.37 billion, and it actually only turned up to be 13.1 billion. And at first glance, you might think that these numbers aren't that far apart, 14.37 and 13.1. However, that's actually over $1 billion that they were expected to make, and they didn't. And so, obviously, this recession has taken a huge toll on the company. The next thing we're going to talk about is excessive competition. When companies compete, consumers win. But the companies, however, do not win. They're competing, and yes, the consumers are definitely going to get the most out of it, but the companies definitely take losses. So, first, we're going to look at two companies, Google and Apple. But first, let's take a look at Google. Google was formed in 1998 by two Stanford graduates. Right now, it's the largest search engine in the world, and it's used to narrow down search results on the internet. And actually, Google has been spreading out in a ton of different other categories too. A couple that I'll just mention real briefly. They've branched out into mobile hardware, mobile operating system, mobile app store, mobile applications, video, voice, IM chat, an office suite, video content, web browser, desktop operating system, photo storage, and online search. And so, I mean, they're not just a search engine anymore. They've become a huge company. The next company I'm going to be talking about briefly is Apple, which in my opinion and many others' opinions is the biggest threat to Microsoft because of their similarities with their computer software and their the hardware that they've been building. So Apple's Macintosh operating system has been very famous, and it's known to have less issues and less viruses than Microsoft. And because of this, a lot of people are saying, we need to switch to Mac because less problems equals less money having to spend. Apple's success is also largely due to its entertainment base. When most people think of Apple, they think of iPod, iPhone, iPad, all of those entertainment type bases. And Apple has actually also been spreading out into other categories too. They also have mobile hardware, mobile operating system, mobile app store, mobile applications, music hardware, video, voice chat, office suite, video content, web browser, desktop operating system, and photo storage. And so, I mean, they don't have an online search, which is like the only thing that Google has that Apple doesn't. But they're still, nonetheless, a very huge company. And actually, May 26th of 2010, Apple's market cap passed Microsoft with $222 billion and $220 billion, which was Microsoft's market cap, which Apple is only second to ExxonMobil, who's at $278 billion. So again, these companies are just neck and neck. They've really, in the last few years, really, Apple has just actually, like I just said, has surpassed Microsoft, at least in regards to market cap. So they're definitely competitors. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is lawsuits. Lawsuits affect almost every corporation, and Microsoft is definitely not an exception. Right now, Microsoft has over 50 cases of patent infringement against it, and these cases are worth $4.5 billion. And first of all, if you don't know what patent infringement is, it's according to Wikipedia.org, it is the commission of a prohibited act with respect to a patented invention without permission from the patent holder. So let me backtrack real quick though. 50 cases that are of patent infringement against Microsoft right now, worth $4.5 billion. And again, $4.5 billion. Some might think, oh well, Microsoft has so much more money than that, but it's actually 7% of the 2010 revenues for Microsoft. So anyone that's taking an unnecessary 7% out of their revenue is, it really takes its toll. Another case, NTP sued Microsoft for infringement of features present in Microsoft's Zune. The Zune feature, it's a music application, and supposedly Microsoft stole some things from NTP, and so they've been sued for that. Something that actually Microsoft is suing for right now. Microsoft is suing Motorola in the Microsoft versus Motorola case for the Android phone. Microsoft believes that Motorola, which is actually a sponsor of Google, the Android phone has taken multiple parts and ideas from Microsoft, or so they think, and so right now they're in court against that. So undoubtedly, lawsuits have taken its toll on Microsoft. So from its beginning, Microsoft has risen to great heights as an organization, but has recently seen a decline in success due to outside factors like we've discussed. Factors like the recession, lawsuits, and the growing of competitors like Google and Apple have led the company to a decrease in profits and popularity. Thank you.